So no sooner than I publish my Marvels video yesterday about the movie, and well, not about the movie, but about Marvel films in general, and I ended it on an optimistic note saying one of the glimmers of hope is the kind of announcements. I know we are really in the area of rumours, really, and wishful thinking, I think. But nevertheless, I said one of the glimmers of hope is the Fantastic Four movie. And no sooner than those words come out of my mouth, they announce, and as the end of, the madness that Marvel have been going through the past few years with their agenda-driven subgenre of MCU. No sooner than I do that, they announce a race-swapped Reed Richards and a gender-swapped Silver Surfer. Which basically means everything I was rambling on about yesterday in my the Marvels being the end of the line. Surely now the worst of every metric in MCU's history is represented in that film. No sooner, that's not 2 weeks since the release of that all these rumours are. Anyway. This is only the intro, so I shouldn't really be going there just yet, should I? To be fair, I'm not too bothered about Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. He's about the same age, and you know what? He's a decent actor. So really, does that have to be a white male? No, I think it has to be a male because of the family structure of the Fantastic Four. One thing I've got an issue with is a gender swapped Silver Surfer S, which is an absolute joke. And after the scroll, I am going to explain why. Bonjour. So, anyway, I've calmed down now. Got myself worked up a bit there, sorry about that. Before I carry on, what helps me calm down as well is thanking you all. If you're subscribing, liking and commenting on any of my videos, thank you all. I notice a couple of you are commenting now and you don't like it as well, which, do you know what? All are welcome. I enjoy that just as much. It does mean that I'm reaching a bigger audience. What I would like to do though is let's discuss it. And like my Marvels video that precedes this one, you did enjoy the Marvels. Okay, I haven't told anyone not to go and watch it. It's all about my opinion and yours. And we've all got our favourite, like I said, and we'll always say, we've all got our favourite characters and we've all got the characters we can't get on with. So no one's life is at stake. We're talking about all the stuff we love. So we can all come together and agree that we love all this silly stuff. We love a superhero movie. We love a superhero villain. Whatever it is. Anyway. I've been a big fan of the Fantastic Four since way back. And I've got to say, the announcement of Pedro Pascal, apparently the role of Reed Richards has been bandied around and everyone's everyone's with all the male actors they've approached, if the rumours are to be believed. So all of this is with a pinch of salt. If the rumours are to be believed, all the male actors of any worth are either turning it down or they want too much money. Okay, I mean it's a business proposition, it's a business venture, so okay. They've settled on Pedro Pascal apparently. Right, like I said in the intro, I know a lot of people are already going, rah, rah, race swapped. Do you know what? I've followed him all my life, this team all my life in the comics, etc., etc. And I've got to say, Pedro's a good actor. And does he have to be white? I, I don't think so. I've got to be honest. I don't think so. Um, and there are a lot of people already up in arms. He's got to be white. He's got to be male. I'll tell you why he's got to be male, and they've ticked that box because without the family setup, and I know that's an overused trope nowadays. Oh my God, it's like, oh, they've got to set up but the it's got to be. It doesn't work if you haven't got Reed Richards, Sue Richards as the wife, the husband and wife. I know this is all very, very old fashioned now, but it just doesn't work otherwise. You've got her brother, who is the loose cannon, who's the young gun. Why can I remember Sue Storm and Johnny Storm? Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, I followed it for so many decades I've forgotten his name. And Ben Grimm as the kind of older brother figure. This is how the dynamic works. And I know that they're saying Vanessa Kirby is playing Sue Richards and Invisible Woman, and do you know what? Spot on if they are getting her. And she has said she'd love to do it. So do you know what? I know there's a little bit of toing and froing with the agents and announcing, just throwing a name into the ring and seeing if the agents of these actresses and actors respond. I know all the chess pieces are being moved around at the moment. That would be a very, very welcome choice. And do you know what? So would Pedro Pascal and her together. They're just two good actors. End of. So they're the two that have been announced. The actor that plays the Thing, if you was the head of Marvel, you'd make him black because he's not part of the family. He's not part of the husband and wife team. You can make him anything. You can make him Southeast Asian. You could do anything because he is the brick monster of the team. And the whole shtick of that character is the fact that he feels he's lost his humanity. And I'm going to come back to this bit because it's quite... You've got to just keep that in your head because it is quite important about my criticism of the fact they're going to gender swap the Silver Surfer, which is a big mistake. And it's the same old mistakes they keep making. Anyway, and with old Johnny Storm, you can give that character on. I think Chris Evans didn't do too bad a job, to be fair. But that's where you're going. That's where you're going with that character. And I'm not going to make suggestions because, just find a Johnny Storm. That'll do. But if you're going to have Vanessa Kirby, it's her brother. So he's got to be white, okay? Hopefully this is coming across as a balanced argument here. Unless you really want to go down that route and then you've got to explain their parents and all the rest of it. No, just make them white. Please. Please, Marvel. Oh, God, please. But the depressing thing is a gender swap Silver Surfer. Right. The Herald of Galactus appeared in Fantastic Four issue 48. What was that? 1965, mid-late 60s. Early days of Marvel. Brilliant. Awesome. And the Silver Surfer has become one of the most renowned one of the most cult kind of characters that everyone knows. I mean, it had an amazing following in the late He had an amazing following alongside the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man in the colleges and universities in America. I mean, Stan Lee used to do tours of the campuses. This was when Marvel was red hot. And out of it comes Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and et al., including Silver Surfer, the Herald of Galactus. Right. One of the most beautiful storylines that Stan Lee and Jack Kirby come up with, one of the most beautiful subplots, was Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, and it was always him, like he was the one that got the bad deal out of the four of them being mutated by the cosmic rays because he's now a monster. And they did lean heavily into that. And I used to like those storylines. And I'm talking about the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby days. And a woman called Alicia Masters falls in love with Ben Grimm. There's a romantic element to this storyline. And she's a sculptress. She's blind, right? She's blind. This is what Stan Lee and Jack Kirby come up with back in the day. A blind artist. But she loves him. She loves Ben Grimm. The poignancy of that story in a film via actors would be such a powerful thing if Feige and his gang were actually aware of the IP they've got. No one's nailed the Fantastic Four yet, and they've already failed as far as I'm concerned with things like this. Oh, so you're going to give the Silver Surfer boobs, are you? What difference does that make? I'll tell you what difference it makes. Because the Silver Surfer gets involved with Alicia Masters. So now you've got a subplot where Ben Grimm or the Thing is rampaging against the Silver Surfer because he gets the wrong end of the stick. Where the Silver Surfer has kind of betrayed Galactus and has saved Earth, but wonders why. What's going on Earth? Like, it was a very, very insightful way of getting across a quite left field political point of view, to be fair, what Stan Lee was doing. You're going to miss all that. And if you was aware of it, like, just keep the Silver Surfer male, so he can have, unless you want to do a lesbian, like a bisexual, like she fancies Silver Surfer, and it's all yawn again, isn't it? It's all yawn again, because what you're doing is you're not creating new stories with gay characters, bisexual characters, trans characters. Crack away. Just crack on. But what you're failing to do, like I keep saying, is that core audience. That, my God, don't you want that core audience that fell in love with the Fantastic Four, which is why you've got the IP in the first place, that has given value to Marvel, is all these different characters as they are. As they are. Why have you got to put tits on it? Or like the Pandaverse said, oh, like, was it Kenny who said, you know, make it a chick, make it gay. Wow. It's like, oh, it's like the Twilight Zone, really? So they just don't want to earn money. I don't know what Feige, I don't know who's got to, like, literally shake Feige. It's a bit like, do you remember the film called, do you remember the film Aeroplane? Where there's a hysterical woman on the plane and they're all queuing up and they've got clubs and whips and batons and a gun. They've got knives, machetes and all that. They're all queuing up and it's like Feige is at his desk and there's a queue of people that just want to slap him, shake him, hit him on the head to knock some sense into the man. Because you're missing one of the most beautiful storylines that there was in the Fantastic Four. You're missing the whole idea, like the whole idea of the family and the romance and Ben's monstrousness. That's what you've got to mine from that character. You know, you've got the dad, the mum, the young kid, and the older brother. That's how it was. All right, that's what made Fantastic Four work from the 60s to now. Oh, that's not good enough, is it? No, you've got to give one of the characters tits instead. No. Completely, and that's why I completely disagree, because unless you, like I say, unless you want to make it very modern, like, but why? Why here and why now? Just go off and create another story, please, rather than ruin this one. And use the original stories. Just use that as your blueprint, like it's been done so successfully in other films and TV series. by using the source material that made the IP valuable enough for you want to buy and convert into a film or TV. No? Doesn't make sense? No. Anyway, that's all, as Forrest Gump had once said, that's all I have to say about that. That's all I've got to say. Rant over. Thank you if you've joined me in this rant so far. And I'll see you on the next one, eh? Until then, adios.